Hi friend, today in this lecture we are going to review the sexual disorders. See, when we look at sexual disorders, the disorders are going to be based on the different part of your sexual cycle. So the first part of sexual is desire. What does this desire? It means you have fantastic about sex and you want to have sex. This is called desire to the more hypostatic sexual disorder in one who has differential one sense of fantasies or desire so usually. This disorder psychological in nature or it could be physiological in nature. So if you are having stress in your marriages, then that could be a physiological component. uh, the world you cause you to have these problems, or maybe you have low testosterone and that would be more of a psychological issue, and you and tend to see load of this after sugary expiry sugar C for prostate cancer. uh, prostate cancer. Next, let's review the sexual arousal disorder. So what does this arousal mean? See, this is the second part of the sexual cycle under arousal. um, Sexual arousal. So for females it's lubrication and for males it's erection, so women can have what called downfall sexual interest arousal disorder. So there are women who are unable to have adequate vaginal lubrication. Now this could be hormone or it could be the oral phase like 0 to 1. In the first year of our life, we discover there were thoughts or oral sense. Our main pleasure comes from sucking our mother's breast of a bottle. The conflict there occurs now is the whining from our primary caregiver, hence in whining of his mother. um, Breathes without trauma, and mother stopped feeding him within 4 months of birth. Week into early, Ida is often left alone cry when is the hungry, hence become a healthy and independent adult. And suffered from trauma and developed on oralification. He tries to compensate for it by coming home all the time. So you're thinking biological sex can be like back to guns, right? Well, science get more complicated than that. Some gain get expressed at high level and other at low levels. So a person may have genes that express a high level of testosterone and later are not estrogen or progesterone or vice versa. Um, Biological sex exists on a spectrum. The bottom line is that biology is messy, and like most things, biological sex exists on spectrum. Separate from the biological construct, sex in is gender identity and gender expression. Gender identity is a person's own sense of their gender on. Gender expression is how they present themselves to the world. Non-binary gender, many people identity of either man or woman. But there are also various types of non-binary gender of gender identity that lie outside of the woman and man-woman dichotomy. For example, someone called identity of multi-type genderless shows and uh, natives or indigenous to spirit too. Furthermore, some well identity with a gender that neither male or woman, while others may have a more fluid gender identity. Some individuals identify themselves as transgender when their gender identity is discordant from their sex agency at birth. Meanwhile, there are people who don't feel any of the field labels describe them or don't like the idea of identifying with a specific gender at all. Pronouns now, depending on their gender identity, any person can close the pronoun that suit them the best. Commonly as a pronoun including he or him or his